It is easy to put on the bed. It requires no lifting. It doesn't have any special gadgets you have to try to adjust in the right positions. It slips easily over the railings that are on all surgical beds. It automatically positions itself as you do it. It also gives adequate neck support so there's no strain on the cervical spine. And the lumbar spine is also supported as well. It only takes a couple minutes to put the Quantum Beach chair system on the bed. It's just a matter of rolling it up to it, putting in 4 clips, lifting the bed and rolling away. Positioning the patient on the Quantum, it usually takes just a couple seconds because we have a move over on the bed sitting up. We adjust it as they move over and we're ready to lay the bed down and anesthetize them. At that time they're already positioned on the bed. Definitely. And there's no guesswork. As far as the patient safety, the neck support allows adequate support for the cervical spine, so there's no shifting the body from side to side after they're put in the chair and anesthetized. It doesn't support it by the head, it supports it from the neck. So you're not putting straps across the chin or the neck region that can interfere. Since I've seen the Quantum and I have used it, I would recommend it for any OR. But I would definitely want it in our OR. No mistake about it, it is the safest, the most secure, and the easiest for the patient and the staff. The other chairs were a nightmare. Between lifting them up and trying to get them on the bed, it always caused a muscle strain. Back, upper back, lower back, sliding down in the chair, they were liable to bite your fingers. We did have an incident where it did bite someone's finger quite severely that required stitches. I have gotten my fingers caught underneath them before, and I have strained my back putting them on and off the chair. We would fight over who had to put it on the bed because nobody wanted to. It was always, if you had the shoulder that you had to do that day, you were really hopeful that the healthcare techs managed to set the room up for you. Positioning the patient was more done as a guesswork. The patient was brought over onto the bed, anesthetized, and then at that time we would position them into the chair. Stability-wise, it would take 2 to 3 people just to support the patient as they were lifted up, and you couldn't put any safety straps or secure systems on them until the patient was lifted up into a sitting position. After they were up, the positioning did not allow for any support as the patient. They always looked as if their neck was torqued from one side to the other, and not real secure as far as whether they would stay in the position they were placed in at that time. The most of the previous chairs, the safety issues were the stability of the patient after they were sat up and protecting the airway and the cervical spine. After you remove the drapes, you would probably see the patient half slumped sideways a little bit. There could be some torque on the neck. Always had the risk of dislodging that breathing tube. The strapping itself was usually full of drool. No fun. The other chairs would take approximately 10 to 15 minutes to actually set up, get in position, and reapply the sheets and the drapes. Positioning the patients on the chairs usually took longer than the case itself. Probably 20-30 minutes to actually get them positioned after they're anesthetized, get them securely strapped down with all the safety straps on. There was always a risk of the breathing circuit, pulling the breathing tube out, the E-tube out of the mouth during the procedure, and then it also doesn't have anything supporting it or holding it during the procedure, so it was required constant vigilance by anesthesia. They hated them, but the new Quantum chair actually gives them more security as far as lifting the patient up.